Sorry, I'm alive. I have not died. Bear with me because I'm looking for something that I need to tell you about on my phone. Well, I don't want to keep using the word basically, but I've just been on holiday. Can you tell? Suntan. See, this is how I know I'm not ginger. I tan. Which is why I'm red. Because ginger fuckers are scared of the sun and don't tan, they just go red and burn. I did burn my nose. Anyway, great holiday. Literally sat on my arse and did sweet FA. Well, that's not quite true. I did a little bit of sea swimming, which I'm not very good at. Did a lot of sandcastle building, and I am the supreme sandcastle champion of the beach at the Atlantis Deluxe, where it's called Atlantis Deluxe Hotel near Belek in Turkey. So much so that people were actually stopping and staring. Not at me, at my castle. Sandcastle was awesome. Anyway, I got banned from my lass for making any more because she was too busy of trying to protect it from little shits trying to stamp on it. So good holiday, well deserved, well needed. So that was obviously 2 weeks of silence, and then prior to that, I was teaching the police course literally up to the night before I went on holiday. I left to go on holiday at 1:30 in the morning, and I got back from work at 8 o'clock the previous night. So I had hoped to get a video up while I was away, but time just did not fucking allow it. So I'm behind, and for that I want to apologise. But this means I've got quite a bit to tell you. So apart from my amazing tan, I've gained. In fact, I lost a little bit of weight on holiday, only a few pounds, but so all's been good there, and I wasn't particularly restrictive at what I wanted. I just didn't eat a lot of it. And it worked out really well. So, what am I going to tell you? Podcast. So, Drugs and Stuff with myself and Scott McNally's, I think we're up to now episode 3 that's out. We've recorded quite a few in front, so I lose track of what's out and what's not out. We're still learning. It's still definitely a process and development, and the last one, we recorded actually one while I was on holiday from me being away on holiday. And I'm still making mistakes. We're still learning the synergy between ourselves, and I sort of overran the show. The last one we recorded a little bit. But the good thing is Scott's quick to say, look, I don't think that worked, or I think this worked. And so through that, we will move forward and improve. So the show's sort of split. So we start off with just general topic discussion. We will bring up subjects that we may have encountered during the week, or something that's topical within bodybuilding, and we'll bring that up and talk about it. And then we do Dear Dave, which is basically like a Dear Deirdre thing. For those that are in the UK, you'll know what Dear Deirdre is. For those that don't, Deirdre is an agony aunt column in a popular newspaper. So basically, we deal with one relationship question a week, and anyone that submits a relationship question and gets it answered on air gets a free Advices Radio t-shirt. In order to submit these questions, if you go to advicesradios.com, you can submit all your questions there. And then the second half of the show is answering questions from listeners. So we're getting really good feedback, to be fair, and I wasn't sure we would, and I wasn't sure how it'd all work out. But I like Scott, I like his approach to things, and we seem to work generally quite well together, and that's only going to strengthen. So I look forward to that developing as we move on. Now, the thing I was looking for on my phone, which I can't actually find, is the new project that Ben Chow and Luke Sandow have started, and it's called Brutal Muscle, and it's basically an online magazine. So they've got several athletes now signed up, one being Josh Malley, Mr. Universe, obviously Luke himself, and so there's going to be video content from various athletes in various disciplines ongoing. So lots of training video content and comp prep video content and general musings of these individuals. And then they've got content from even ex-Mr. Olympias and various reputable guys within the industry, from diet, nutrition, training, or just, past incredibly successful competitors. So, and it's basically going to be a cross spectrum, not just bodybuilding focused. There will be or definitely not just hardcore bodybuilding. So you will have men's physique stuff in there, and you will have women's stuff in there, and hopefully it will expand to encompass strongman and powerlifting and other disciplines as well. And then you have me in a corner with a little drugs corner. This is going to be a bit of a forum-based arena. There will be, when you go into this area of the website, your log on, your username becomes anonymous. So anyone can post a question and nobody will know who it is. And we wanted to do it this way because we both all felt that even some of the top-end guys have questions, but they're very reluctant to ask because they have a name that they need to protect. So this allows everybody to ask questions, no matter how dumb they are, or how clever or how complex they are, and I will do my best to answer them. And if I don't know the answers, I will bugger off and find the answers, or I'll speak to somebody who does. Because there's areas I'm not that strong on, I'll be honest. So, but also within this area, I will put up various documentation and reports, and not scientific reports, but just information. So there's going to be a lot of drug profile reviews there, and there'll be quite a lot of drug profile review videos. But I'm going to post up the report I did for the ACMD, which is the Advisory Council on Misuse of Drugs, on driving and social impactors on steroid use for their evidence finding I did last year. So stuff like that, stuff that I'm involved in other areas, I'll put up. So that should be a nice little corner that we should be able to develop quite well. It could also make me very, very busy. I'm also now involved with Youth Revisited. They're a private online prescription service. So basically, they cover all aspects of health and drug use, but obviously, particularly for steroid users, if you're still just in the range, therefore you're being kicked out for not being eligible for TRT, but you're symptomatic and your levels are low, this may be an alternative avenue you can go to get prescription TRT. Obviously, you're paying for that service, but it's not massively expensive, to be honest. It's quite very affordable. And I'm involved to some degree in consult work with that company as well now. The MOD contract has restarted, so all you squaddies, I will be out to see you shortly and tell you about the evils of steroid use. Contract has been awarded, but it's not signed off, so it's through a secondary company called Galahad who I subcontract to, so hopefully that should get the ball rolling within the next week or two. What else? I'm sure there was something else. Oh yeah, and I'm fucking behind on this as well. There was a pilot project in Finland to develop a training information package for GPs, so they were better trained and equipped to deal with steroid users. And it's being looked at for both Australia and UK. So I've been asked by a third party to review it. I do know the people behind it. They haven't asked me to review it, which might be an indication of something. But a third party has asked me to look at it. So I have started, but shit, I'm way behind on that. But at the moment, I am just literally stacked out. So, but at least that's a positive move that there are hopefully going to be some information put out there regards steroids users' support from GPs, and hopefully we can start to get rid of some of this prejudice. And talking of prejudice and talking of health issues, prior to going away in a 8-day period, I dealt with 1 kidney failure, 1 heart failure, 1 heart attack, and a couple of other particularly ill people. And then I've heard this week that a gentleman of some notoriety for his advice and his approach and his physique has also fallen ill. Now, I don't wish ill on anybody, apart from the ex-wife. But I hope that these people will be very open and honest about the mechanisms and the causes of their health issues, but I fear that they won't. And I fear that particularly the person that fell ill a few days ago and basically was admitted to hospital in a coma, will probably try and justify the health issues as being something else and this and the other. And the point blank line is with all these people that if they weren't using, they wouldn't have had these health issues. Are steroids solely to blame? Potentially not. But if they weren't using, they wouldn't have these health issues. However, one gentleman was 23 years old. Posted online that he'd had a few issues and people were suggesting that he came off, did a PCT, did some cardio, this, that and the other. And there was something not quite right. So I asked a few more questions and got a bit more information and then spoke to him privately. And to me it indicated severe cardiac issues. Went to the hospital and was sent away. As soon as he mentioned he uses steroids, was pretty much told not to use them and sent away. I told him to ring the medical helpline in the UK, NHS Direct, and they booked him to another hospital. They seemed to take him a bit more seriously, did the relevant blood tests, but nothing else. And they never followed up, so he's now in the process of chasing those blood tests and trying to find out where he is at with things. But he was quite ill. Couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs without losing his breath, struggling to breathe, struggling to sleep, chest pains. The list went on, and I was shocked at the lack of interest that the medical services in the UK showed him. In fact, it was fucking disgusting. So hopefully these new guidelines, these new information packs, if they get out there, will at least make doctors more aware of potential problems and potential health risks, and they may at least move some way to removing some of the prejudice. They won't remove it all, because there definitely will always be this attitude where you've done it to yourself. But, and there's no denying that. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I've done it to myself, other people have done it to themselves. But that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be provided with at least a diagnosis of their health issues. And talking of health issues, I'm in for my echo on Monday, 9:30, and then I've got my consult beginning of December with the cardiology team. Feel okay. Felt good on holiday. The last couple of days felt a little bit, but I think that's possibly other factors. As the problem is when you get things like this, you start to, well, is it this or is it something else, you know? But in general, I feel pretty good. Body clock's still a bit fucked up. Got up at 5 yesterday morning. I couldn't sleep, so I just ended up getting up and going to work. Same this morning. I was sat down here in the office at 5, doing paperwork till 7, then went to the gym, came back and picked up where I left off. But then I have a mounting to catch up on as well. But all in all, pretty good. Back in the gym today and get back on diet and start pushing forward again. So all in all, not bad at all. A much well earned, I felt anyway, personally, but definitely well needed break. And I'm definitely not going to leave it so long before I have another one. I think I'll start sticking. I used to stick in a couple of days here and there when I'd go away, and I think I need to start doing that again. But otherwise, feel damn good. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So guys, a lot of crap there, but just thought I'd bring you up to speed as to where everything is. So take care, and I will speak to you guys soon.